Okay, so let's put our currencies under the various columns. Ghana cedi. Permit me to use S because inserting the cedi sign is going to delay me a bit. Okay, so that's our Ghana cedi sign. The first transaction is started business with 400,000 cash. So please, you are going to assist me. Is the business receiving, and for that matter, do we need to debit, or is the business paying and we need to credit? So whoever is ready can tell me what we have to do. Yes, Prof. Sandra. Let me hear from Prof. Sandra.
Please, the business is receiving.
Okay, so we are receiving from the owner, which is capital. So 1st June 2016, the details will be capital. And it's cash, so you put it under cash, 400,000. Okay. On the 2nd June, deposited 200,000 in a newly opened bank account. So deposited 20,000 in a newly opened bank account. Okay, so can we do the analysis? We deposited cash into a bank account. Does it ring a bell on something we have discussed earlier? Prof. Alexia, I don't know if you can assist us here. Okay. Yes, Prof. Alexia, go ahead.
It's a contra entry.
It's a contra transaction. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So let me take on so that we can finish it very fast. So this is a contra transaction involving depositing cash into bank. So in essence, cash was paying the money to bank. So bank received. So we are going to debit bank on the 2nd of June 2016. We debit bank 200,000 in the name of cash. And remember to put your C sign in front of it. Okay, then we credit cash in the name of bank on the same date, 2nd June 2016. Bank contra. Okay, 200,000. Thank you very much. The next one, paid rent in cash. We are making a payment of rent in cash. So we just credit our cash because we are making payment. So 3rd June 2016, details will be rent in cash. So 50,000 under cash. Paid to Owusu by check. So we paid some monies to Owusu. So Owusu, we paid in check, so that'll go under the bank column 20,000. Along the line, please, if there's a transaction you don't understand, you prompt me. On the 5th, bought furniture 45,000, paying by check. So another payment. Furniture. Okay. Then the next one, on the 7th, purchase goods for 80,000 in cash. Purchase goods, so that's purchases. So purchases in cash, 80,000. Okay. The next one, paid or say 60,000 cash. Wow. So we paid or say 60,000 cash. Great. Cash sales. So we made a sale and we received cash. So that is a receipt for the business. A receipt for the business. So we put in the date 10th June 2016. Sales and the cash 100,000. Okay. Then the next is purchase goods 70,000, payment made by check. So 13th, purchase goods, that's purchases, but this time we did it with check, so 70,000. Next, 15th, withdraw 20,000 from bank. We withdraw 20,000 from bank, so we withdraw cash from bank. So this is also another contra transaction. We are withdrawing cash from bank. So in essence, bank is paying and cash is receiving. So we debit cash in the name of bank with contra. Um, 20,000. Then we'll credit bank in the name of cash. $20,000. Okay, so another contra transaction there. Received a check of 15,000 from Michael. So we received money from Michael on the 18th. So Michael, that was a check. So on the bank 15,000. Okay. Next, cash sales. So another cash receipt. Sales 60,000. Okay. Then we'll move to the last page to finish up. 20th, received a check from Obing and deposited it into bank. So we received check in essence, right? Okay, so we are going to debit our cash with 20th June 2016. We received a check from Obing, 35,000. Great. 25th, paid repair charges by check. Paid repair charges by check. Do you see any amount there? The answer is no. So in essence, if you record it, what are you going to put there? So because there's no monetary attachment here, we can't record this transaction. Remember, the basis of accounting is you record transaction that has monetary values. Here, we cannot determine how much in terms of money was involved in this transaction. We are just reading paid repair charges by check. We don't know the amount, so we can't record this. So you see how the examiner can play with your mind. Some students will see this and be confused that, oh, then this question, I can't solve it. It's difficult. Okay, if there's no money, you can't record it. Move on. 27th, cash of 15,000 received from Michael was deposited into the bank. So let's pay attention to this one. Cash of 15,000 received from Michael was deposited in the bank. The examiner is trying to play with your mind. Okay, you received cash from Michael and you deposited it into bank. If you are not too careful, you would see this as a contra because you receive cash and you have deposited into bank, right? But if you do a deeper analysis, you realize that we received money from Michael and we deposited into bank. So in other words, we received money from Michael and it's in the bank account, right? If you do the contra, you are going to have a zero impact on the account, and the fact that you received money from Michael will be missing. Okay. If you want to go that way, then first of all, you have to record how much you received from Michael, okay, in cash before you do the contra. Okay, but it is not supposed to be the case. So this is a simple transaction telling you that you have received money from Michael and it's in the bank account. So on the 27th, we received money from Michael and it's in the bank account. So we debit bank with that amount of 15,000. Okay, so if you are confused here, please let me know so that I can explain further. Are we okay? Prof. Frank?
Yes, sir, please. Yeah, I've seen my mistake.
You've seen your mistake. Okay. Now, if you want to go about this the other way, then you have to do this, okay, which I'm telling you is not recommendable, if there's a word like that, okay. The simple analysis you have to make is that you receive money from Michael and you have deposited it into bank. Some people would do it this way. So first of all, we received cash from Michael. So they are going to debit the cash book, okay, with cash of what, 15,000. And then after, come and tell us that, okay, that cash was deposited into the bank. So they do the contra transaction. So this cash of 15,000 was deposited into bank. So what is going to happen is you come here, debit your bank 15,000, okay, and then you credit your cash 15,000. But if you realize those two entries will cancel each other and will be left with the 15,000 at the bank, okay. So we're saying don't stress yourself going through that hurdle of recording or making 3 entries. If you receive money from an individual and it's deposited into the bank, do so. Like we said, our contra entries are when we deposit cash into bank and when we withdraw cash from. But when we receive money from an individual the same day we deposit into the bank, just go straight ahead and don't think about the contras. I hope it makes sense. Okay, the last but one, goods sold 76,000, payment received in check. So 29th we are receiving. So we sold goods, so that will be sales. We received in check, so 76,000. Then finally paid salary in cash, so we are paying salary in cash, 22,000. Okay. So before we balance it, any problem, any question, please feel free to ask me any question. Okay. So let's do the balancing, and I think this is where Prof. Alexia would have to watch out for me. So if you are doing the balancing, you balance the cash column against the cash column on the different sides. So the debit side against the credit side before you now come to the bank columns, right? So let's do the cash column. If you are balancing an account, you need the first step is to get the total, right? So let's get the total on both sides, whoever has the value. We have 400 plus 100 plus 20 plus 60, that's 480,000. Then when you come to the credit side, you have 200 plus 50, that's 250 plus 80, 330 plus 60, 390, 390 plus 22, that is 400 and please, I beg you, help me on my mental mathematics.
That's it. 412,000.
412,000. Thank you very much. Okay. So that's the first step. Get a total on both sides, and then you find the difference between them, and you use that difference as your balance carry down. So 480,000 minus 412, we have 68,000, and you put it at the lesser side. Okay, like how you have been balancing an account. And then you call it balance carry down or balance CD. You use the closing date 31st. The month is June. So June has 30 days. So 30th June 2016. Okay, good. So that is for the cash, right? Then you do same for the bank. So for the bank, let's get the totals on both sides. We have 200,000 plus 15 plus 35 plus 15 plus 76. That's 341,000 at the debit side. Let's check at the credit. The credit, we have 20,000 plus 45 plus 70,000 plus 20. That's 155. So again, the debit side is more. Let's find the difference. 341 minus 155, that's 186. So the carry down will also be here, 186,000. And you already have your carry down, so you don't need to repeat it again. You just put it under the column like this. After your carry downs, you know what to do. Rule your total lines. So this is our total line. Or we check the last transaction, which is the carry down. So for the cash, we are going to put a total of 480 and the bank 341. And you do same at the other side. Make sure you underline your totals like you have already or always been doing. And then the carry downs will now be brought down on the next period, which will be 1st July 2016. Balance brought down. So under the cash, we have 68,000 and under the bank, we have 186,000. So this was your assignment. I want to believe the least mark should be 90%. So let me pick a few comments from you. If not, we'll move straight ahead into our 3-column cash book illustration, since the 2-column is no more a problem for us. Any questions, dear professors? Okay. So I think my professors are okay. Okay, so now let's pick the illustration on the 3-column cash book. The 3-column cash book. And as we discussed the last time, the 3-column cash book has or introduces a 3rd column, which we call the discount column, the cash discount column. Discount allowed and discount received. Okay, so I want to believe you can see my screen. So I have 2 questions here. I think I'll solve one with you, and then the other would be an assignment. So when we finish with the illustration, the other one, you will do it as an assignment, so that at least we can look at the petty cash book today. Okay.